Today's worksheet is going to focus on the principle of art of emphasis. So we are going to be using directional forces. We're going to be using contrast, basically any combination of other elements and principles of art to create a focal point or an area of high visual concentration throughout our project. You will need a ruler. You'll also be needing a black ink pen for your final lines. You'll need a light 8 range pencil for your underdrawings. You will need an eraser to erase any stray marks. And you can use, of course, any kind of color medium that you want to, but of course we do have Prismacolors or any kind of high quality colored pencil that you can use to create this particular project. If you're wanting to do just a simple abstract geometric one, you can go ahead and reuse your shapes from your previous projects. You can reuse those. If you already threw away those shapes, you can reprint that sheet and then cut them out anew. It's always nice to have a scrap sheet of paper handy. And then what you're going to do in this is the first thing you're going to want to do is divide your composition according to the rule of thirds. This is a great way for you to practice anytime you're doing both a photograph, a 2D work of art. It's often very pleasing to divide your work into thirds and then pick a focal point from one of those intersections along the thirds to be the area of your focal point. And then you're going to use a minimum of 3 of your elements of art to emphasize your chosen focal point. So if it's line or shape, you can use organic or geometric contrast with colors. You can use cool or warm colors, saturated versus more neutrals. You can use in value light versus dark values. You can change up patterns. You can change up textures. You can repeat some places and then not repeat in other places. There are many different ways to create emphasis along a focal point. The first thing I'm going to do is divide this into my thirds, and then we'll pick a focal point. And then from there, it's basically open for you to create whatever you want to, whether it's representational, whether it's more geometric and abstract. All right, and though it is very faint, you can see that there are 4 distinct intersections which correspond with my rule of thirds. So any one of these I'm going to pick to be my focal point. I think for myself, I'm going to choose this one right here. So whenever I'm doing my underdrawings, I'm going to be paying special attention to drawing emphasis to this particular intersection. I'll erase the actual grid lines once we get through the ink stage. And then I'm going to use value. I'm going to use some saturation, some warm and cool colors, as well as some contrast between more organic treatment of line and shape and more geometric treatment of line and shape to create emphasis on my focal point. And now that I've given myself a good layout with a good deal of complexity in the composition, I'm going to go over them with ink, and then I'm going to fill in that inking with my colored pencil, taking care to use long, smooth strokes. Make sure that my pencil points are fully sharpened. If you need more information about how to use colored pencils or any of these materials, go back and watch that first video about materials for this course.